Hi, this is Colorful Foresight where we intuitively connect from within. And it's woo woo time where we connect our woo woo into our mundane living. Hello, today topic is on the Learning Tarot. It's on True Love. True Love with Pamela Anderson. So say the word and creating history. So, hello, I'm Colorful Foresight, and here is
Hello,
Pamela
Laura
Anderson.
Anderson.
So she's been my guest. She's been showing up on some of my videos, and somehow Twin Flame came to be. And in the past, I've talked about Twin Flame, but that's something maybe we'll go more into. We're gonna do a pre-recorded video on Monday, but today we thought let's start talking about a little bit. So I put to keep it simple, true love. So we're gonna go with that vibe. So, what do you want to say? You want to say anything about that?
About true love.
True love.
I didn't have anything planned for that. Well, I think I didn't really know what love was until I was with my twin flame. I think like I was married before. I was married for 13 years. I was with him for 23 years. And the kind of love I had with him was not what I have now. I don't know that I really had true love. I think I had like an attachment sort of thing going on. You know, he's going to keep me safe,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Now that I look back on it, I realize totally different. When I,
Experiential thing. That's what it is. You can't really explain it, right? When you
right,
actually met your true love.
my true love. Yep. Which I've known him since I was 16.
And that, oh my God, that's so funny.
Actually, I think I was 15. I was 15.
That's great.
Yep.
So this is great because today is about, okay, let's see in the card what that looked like. So let's go right into it. So let's shuffle the card. Pick one card that you had with that guy you were with 23 years. Then we're
Yep.
going to see the difference of energy
Oh,
between
yeah, I
that,
like this.
you know? So, because then Letitia, because that's how I kind of learned the tarot. You notice, like, I need like a story and then it shows up. And that's how I learned it. Because when I read the book, it, it's like,
It's
then
too
I need to
cerebral.
see.
You got to
Right.
do it.
Yeah. So we're
Yeah,
going to
and
go with,
I'm
go ahead.
kind of just getting back into tarot, so I might need some help. I don't really remember.
Me too. Don't worry about
I
it.
did it
That's
when in my
why
20s, and I'm like, I
it's
do go by pictures a lot, and I'm learning.
no, just go by pictures because I'm not, you know, how sometimes some of the cards they have like all these images and the real tarot card student will know everything. I just kind of know the foundation, but mostly it's our intuition. And I noticed for you it's mostly intuition too, like when
Intuition.
you comment. So that's what I
Yeah.
want because there are a lot of videos out there that are that they have with you could be like a real student, but we're just keeping it open. But just want to let you know, guys, that before I did this, and I didn't do it, Pamela, I I asked for Archangel Michael to protect our energy. Should always ask for protection, whoever that is for you, that of the light, because you are opening up to your spirit guide, which technically though it's with you, but we're doing the tarot. And so the intention for this video, let's make it fun. It's going to be thought provoking, though. It's going to bring up that love vibe for you. That's the point. Bringing more love. So during this time, that's all I want to hear about. So right now, we're going to shuffle on. We're each going to pick one card. If you're watching, you could pick the card. If you're watching live, you could comment or after. And we're going to see the difference of energy. Let's see. So our spirit guide is going to tell us the type of love that she had was real, but it wasn't like the way she really knew later on. So, which is what a lot of people probably are in.
All right.
So,
So I got the Queen of Pentacles for my first marriage. Didn't
okay,
I
so
say
put
it
it
was
up.
sort of secure? It was a
Yeah.
lot of security.
So
Three of
bring up your card.
Cups.
Show your card. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, right. That's the practical thing. You did like the practical, what you thought marriage was.
Yes. Yeah, he was mature. He was steady.
Right.
You know what I mean? He brought home a paycheck, I guess.
And Three of Cups is kind of like a celebration card. So I was wondering how that could apply to that. kind of like what you thought it was, celebration of a marriage. That's what I'm
Right, right,
thinking. You know,
right,
going
right.
with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it wasn't all bad, you know, but
no, you until you met this guy, then you're like, whoa, I had no
all right.
idea.
So you want to hear the funny thing is, I met my husband Ralph a week after I started dating my ex-husband
Mhm.
in high. We were in high school, and I met him a week later. And oops, I got a boyfriend. I can't go out with you now because he did ask me out that first day.
Well, it's like you had an opening, so they worked really quick. The universe brought it to you very quickly. But
Very
you know what I'm
quickly.
curious on? I don't know if we could fit in this video. Like, first of all, when I talk about my twin flame experience, which maybe later on I'll put it in the video description, it was more like an energy, and I just kind of stopped it, but it's still around, but I don't play with it because it was like 10 years of it. And when you don't see it manifest, you have to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
At
Yeah.
part I did. But the fact that it's coming around makes me curious. I do believe because of the what's going on collectively, like you don't have to be an astrologer, but they talk about the Pluto and Aquarius and the golden age. So it's more of a love vibe time period, you know.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
like twin flame been around, just like soulmate, kindred spirit. Sometimes what we see on YouTube, people try and make meaning to it and make it like it's a new thing. But I think it's more of it because we are heading into a supposedly a more um like about enlightenment, and so it's more of a pure.
Unity. We're more
I think it's
connected.
just a type of relationship. You're more if humanity is more into transformation, enlightenment, that you're gonna have that kind of relationship. It's gonna be more high in vibration. And
Yeah.
I believe that's why we see a lot of darkness now without getting dramatic because they want to dim it. But the love is coming through, and that's why I think we're connecting. Um, so we funny how Pamela had practical a marriage. She thought she was in love and da 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 da. And you know, she had the celebration and she did the right thing. But until this guy came along, which I don't even know about, she really had to understand. So let's shuffle before you even tell me the details. Let's see what that vibe is about in one card.
The two of
This
us. Yeah.
current guy you're with, we're gonna call it true love, and we're gonna see the difference.
I don't want to pick the wrong card.
It doesn't matter. Every time I put it back, it pops out again, and it's like, stop it. You have to learn something new. Oh my god, you're gonna laugh. You can't make this up.
What?
I wish you saw it. The twin flame card, the
The
lovers,
lovers?
and the emperor,
The
meaning like this
emperor.
is a real man. What do you got? Oh, six of cup is like past life, you know, meant to be. And also
Oh,
you met him, you said in when you were younger.
when I
Six
was
of cup.
15.
So that's a soulmate card, by the way. Just for
I
you to
didn't
know.
know that.
Yeah, it could it's like a past thing? You know,
Oh,
I don't know if they didn't talk about twin flame back when they start creating the cards, but how funny is that that I got the
wow.
lovers
So you picked
to
two for
see.
us?
And this what triggered you that day when I did that
That is
video
what
live?
triggered me. I said, "Oh, that's a twin flame card."
Right.
A
And I was
twin
like,
flame.
why do you say that? And then we went into that. So
I think you had a different deck and it was like fire and it really looked like a twin flame image that
yeah,
day.
that's funny. And the emperor, I mean, this is your man, you know, the
Oh,
the the guy, the guy. Look how solid he looks. So we can't make this up.
yep.
Um, so you can see the vibe, how it's different. Like from the practical, you did the practical, you did the celebration to Six of Cups, somebody from the past or soulmate vibe. It's a whole different thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what comes to your mind?
I've had some past lives come back to me because
Mm,
when you're with your twin flame physically, all that stuff gets broken open and it like I wasn't that psychic before. I'm only psychic like with him, you know, but now I think with the age of Aquarius, I think everybody's coming online, you know.
yeah, but there
And
is
now
something about
it makes sense now why the timing, you know. why the
Right.
timing was what it
I didn't
was.
think of that. Right. And
Right?
yeah,
It was
and
all for a purpose. Like, why couldn't we be together back in 1986? You know, um, I don't know.
yeah, I'm
We
so
had to do what
excited.
we had to do. Like, it's not about romance. It's
Right.
about our purpose. It's about our purpose. It wasn't about romance and having a family, and you know, it's about our
Right.
purpose on earth right now.
Wow. Without even knowing what the purpose is, let's shuffle the card. Could you know what the purpose is? Let's ask, what is the purpose that, for this is learning tarot, what is the purpose that Pamela speaks about with her current man? Would she consider her twin flame true love? And that's the way you can also learn about tarot, Pamela, without, because it's really about your relationship with your card, and with your spirit guide. It's not so much
Mm-hmm.
what I'm teaching you. It's just what is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to tell you, and you're going to tell me if that makes sense, because I don't know the story. So here we have the Ace of Wand, and that wand energy is like an energy card. The wand is the energy card. So it's a vibe. Okay. So the
Mm-hmm.
purpose was it's about a vibe. And it's all about reflection. So this relationship gave you a lot of inner reflection. Because you were saying like you felt you're more psychic, but it could have made you more deep. You know, this energy ignited in you something that it woke you up. You know, that
Yeah.
kind of vibe. So I don't know if you could see that with the Eighth of Wand, because it's like a energy, like,
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
made you look from within, and then you got brighter. And once you get brighter, I get a different vibe. You feel
Ah.
more intuitive. And a hermit could be like a very wise person, made you feel a certain way. That's what I make it mean. What do you make it?
Um. What was it again?
Change the card. Maybe you'll get an inspiration. Where
Oh
you,
yeah. Like I'm in the stars. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
it could also be like the light from within, what sparked when you
Yep.
met him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
this could be
Totally.
a spark as well, like an Eighth of
It
Wands
was
is a
a.
fire. So it brought a spark in you.
It actually did. I literally
Oh,
saw a spark when
really?
on our first, like, we'd known each other, we were friends, but our first date and our first kiss, I saw a flash of white.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you can make that up. I mean, literally,
You
right?
can't
I
make
mean,
that up.
it's just showing you visually. If you don't even know the card, a flash of light.
Flash of light.
That's funny. What card did you get?
Yep. So I got the Queen of Cups and the, what is that? The
Seven
Six
of
of
Cups.
Cups, which isn't a good one.
You know
It's
what's
not a good
funny?
one.
That you said you
Choices.
felt more psychic. The Queen of Cups is the person who's psychic. You know how you said it made you feel more in tune, psychic? So that's
Yeah.
the card. See how you could
Yep.
kind of see like how you can learn a little more about the tarot by
Yeah.
adding a story to it. At the Seven of
And this
Cups,
is like choices, isn't it? Isn't that
right?
like choices?
It calls to be vision, maybe got vision. Because sometimes Seven Cup is seen
Oh.
like a confusing card, but it has so many different aspects. It's seen. It could be a vision. Did you get more vision? I guess
Oh
because
my
it
God.
showed
Yeah.
you, it woke
Yes.
you up psychically with that Queen of Cups. You see how you could blend it too? You
Yep.
make a story.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It gave you more vision and things like that,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Interesting, huh?
Right. Just
So
by looking
cool.
at the cards. And so, okay, so you met him, you knew each other, but that spark, woo! And you said you think with timing and everything because of planetary and all that.
Yeah, we started dating in 2013, and there was in 2012 we had
Right. Yeah.
like a, I don't know if it was planetary or, but they're saying there was an awakening. Oh, it
Well,
was 12
2012,
21 12 21 12. Yep.
12, 21, 2012,
2012. There was a,
12, 21, all that 1, 2 in there.
yep, that was like
Well,
that was supposed to be a spiritual awakening then too.
that's funny. Well, 2012 is what you always hear about the Mayan and the spiritual people talk
Right.
about the thing. So it's funny. And then, like, even with the twin flames thing, mine started around my story, which around 213, where I start getting all this vibe
2013?
around. Yeah, but how funny, right after 2012. So there was some kind of energy pushing toward like bringing love vibe into the planet.
There was.
And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of darkness now, because we're pushing through, the
Yeah,
love.
they're
Because
going to
you
fight.
notice a lot of people got divorced, friendship broke up because of all this political drama. Um, but it's not going to work because the light always win, babe. You
It
know.
sure does.
So, anything else you want to share? I'm all ears.
Hmm. Well, see, I didn't just get the visions after we started dating, because whenever we would have little interactions,
Right.
I would often get visions and be so confused by it, because I would see him over the years. He always wanted a hug.
Oh, funny that you said that. The
Yep.
confusion. You got the Seven of Cup. Seven of Cup
Um,
is the confusion card. So you
oh
were getting
yeah,
vision, but you were confused by it
I was
because you didn't
confused
understand it.
very.
But okay, making sense with the card. So
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
yeah.
And that had happened, all over the years. We would see each other at weddings and barbecues and parties, and we'd always chat. And often I would get this like trance feeling, like maybe when we would be driving home and I'd be like, oh my God, I hope my husband doesn't ask me what's wrong, because it would confuse me, and I
Imagine.
don't know
Yeah.
that it even related it to him, but it would send me into these trances.
Wow. So that makes sense with the Queen of Cup and the Seven of Cup. Queen of Cup is the person who's psychic, and you're getting all these vision. You don't understand it. You're getting these feelings, and you're with your husband, not even thinking about that.
God,
And you're
no.
like, "Why am I into this? What's up?" That I love it. Yeah,
That's
yeah. It's
crazy,
really
huh?
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an experience. I was already divorced and he was divorced, and
Oh,
it was Facebook wasn't as big as now. You're on your phone. It was like you still had to go on your desktop. And
12, right? Around
so I
12.
didn't know, but he had posted that he was going to the same concert that I went to. We both went to Pink Floyd.
And this is around 2012, right? After
This was in 2010. In
20.
2010,
Oh,
before
okay.
we started dating, we were both at the same concert.
Okay.
And I went into that trance thing while it was at the
Right.
concert during a song. And I started seeing all these visions of my purpose and the world and peace on earth, and which is often, it's very similar. It'll um, go kind of through the same things. I often see like a crystal castle, which I kind of think is Lemuria. I don't know
Mm.
what that means. I see that rising up out of the ground. And and
All
then
I
all of
know
a
about the
sudden,
Lemurian is that they were all about heart
yep.
energy, you know?
And then the biggest thing that happened out of that, and then I realized when he was at that show, I saw our cord, and it went. He was way up in the stands, and I was way down, and that's where the cord went, way up into the stands. I saw the cord.
So, from what I'm gathering, even when you're with your husband and you would once in a while see the current guy,
We were
it would
already
just throw you
divorced.
off. It would just but you didn't understand it. And then finally, when you divorce him, your husband, ex,
Yep.
then you see him again in 2010. Now you're getting all that vision thing again. That Seven of Cup. You get it? Like you seeing how it
Yes.
relates. Like you don't understand it. What's going on? I'm feeling all this. Da, da,
What's
da, da.
going on? Totally. I really did
Totally a
feel that
vibe.
way.
Ace of Wand is a vibe. We had that Ace of Wand. What was it? And here, okay, so all about energy. You're like, whoa, and you're reflecting on it. It's like waking you up on the inside. Like, what the heck? Then
Totally.
what? Then what? What's next?
Um yeah, so I didn't know he was there. That was the thing. Like you can't even say I made it
You didn't
up.
even know.
I
Oh my
didn't know
god!
he was there until the next day. And when I
So you
went
were feeling
online, I
happy. You
saw
were
on
feeling
Facebook, I was feeling him. I went on
wow.
Facebook, saw that he was there too, and I went, I wonder if that's why I had that experience. Now, why would I even go there? You know.
That's
So
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and then
how it
I
is.
think
That would make
hmm?
love go around, especially when it's so mysterious like that about energy and connection and all that.
Yeah.
Um, I was feeling very unique with that energy, and that was just like me having vision. So, Matt, I could only imagine with an actual person. Like I was confused with all these visions. She saw my video, which I did a video with. I did like 3 videos, but the
Hmm.
one video I know Pamela saw,
Yes, with third
one I
eye
did with
shifting.
Third, right. So, she, Kirsten Lanson, is reading from a psychic where she read all these people who are into twin flame, but she didn't necessarily experience it. I still think until you experience it, which I did, you still don't understand. Even if she was a psychic, could you see her like doubting? And I kind of like, it's like you have a baby. You don't know
Hmm.
until you have the baby. Like as a woman, if I didn't have a child, I don't really know unless you have the kid yourself and birth it.
Yes.
So same thing with the twin flames. So Pamela makes it interesting because a lot of time what we see on YouTube is so drama. And
Hmm.
me, it was confusing because I would get all these vision. And I'm like, what the heck is this? It just had to land. And then after a while, I had to give it up because I was mixing in with the energy of what you see on YouTube and stuff. And I'm like, forget that.
Yeah.
Um, but I do, again, like Pamela does feel that too. It's something about this time frame. So what do you think about that? Like, why
Yeah, I think
it
so.
might be? What do you think?
Well, this is another part of the story. I don't want to tell too much because we're going to do a video on Monday, but
Yeah, we're
um,
gonna do a tease. You're gonna get a little tease.
we'll tease it. He would come to me while I was sleeping, or however you want to call it. It was his
Right.
spirit visiting me in the ethereal. So it's sort of like what you're saying, having visions and whatnot. And we would have
I got
full
that.
full conversations. We would have full
You too.
conversations.
Yeah,
You did too?
I did, but you actually have a person. So
Well, there is a
imagine how
person that's
confusing.
related to that soul. I
I'm
mean,
just
the
waiting
soul could
for the
be on the other
person to connect.
side, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
would
Oh,
come
and
in.
then this was the cool thing is that I would always wake up and say, it's not time yet. And I would
Mm,
say, what the heck does that mean? And there would
yeah, we
always be
know.
like a swish, like a sense of something leaving,
Right,
and I'd be like, what just happened? And I have some memories now of being aware of the conversation, and I would ask him, "Who are you?" He played this game where he made me guess, "I'm your friend," and I had to
right.
go through, and I just could not come up with it. And he said, "Ralph." Um,
Yeah,
he
but did he
finally told
know, like, your man actually would know about this, or that was just his soul? Or did
that
he
was his
remember?
soul. That was in the ethereal, yeah. And my husband never knew.
That's
No,
what I'm saying. So it's like I felt like that's what I experienced, but it
yeah,
hadn't land with the person. You know what I mean? Like I'm
right.
waiting for that to land.
That
But let's
person,
see what
you'll
that
know
looked
the
like.
energy.
Let's see what that looked like in the card with that experience you had. So
Yep.
I'm kind of curious. In one card, that experience you had, what did that look
It's
like?
not time yet. It's
Yeah,
not time
yeah.
yet.
Let's look that
That's what I
up.
kept saying.
Yeah. So let's see
And
what
then
that
and
looks
then one
like.
day, I said, "It's not time yet." I woke up, and then I said to myself, "But it's almost time." And then that made me even more crazy. Almost time for what? And we started dating 2 weeks later, but I actually saw him that day. I was going to a function where I saw him that
But now
day.
you could connect it. Like I had this
I can
experience
connect it
and I
all.
saw him. Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost
Just want
time.
to say, I had a few words I wrote down beforehand. Lonely, lost in time, give me a chance, can't stay mad, say the word history. Let's create history. So it's just interesting what I came up with all those words, but it's just going to be confusing. But I also want to show this before we continue, which it may it may not be for me, but it might be for somebody. So uh, because it's a little abstract. So I was showing like goal without deadline of fantasy. That's like, fantasy where all the people, it doesn't go anywhere. Then you have goal, deadline, objective, but that's not really the love. Then you have goal, deadline, plan, intention, which is great, but goal and deadline plan, consistent action set. But I think twin flame or true love is something like meaningful goals, deadline, plan, consistent action, and fulfillment. I think that's why Pamela actually has somebody versus a lot of twin flame you see on YouTube. It just goes beyond one and two, just a fantasy, and it doesn't go anywhere. Um,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
yeah, so that might be a little too heady, but I just want to share that maybe for one person, out there. But okay, so let's see what card is
All
that.
right, so I picked this card.
The sun. You know what's funny about that? The sun is the enlightenment card. So it's kind of like you're experiencing a higher energy kind of thing going on. Because you said your husband don't even remember that. So that was something bigger than him. It was his soul and your soul connection. So I could see the sun is kind of like enlightenment energy. It is
Yeah.
enlightenment.
Yeah.
So see how you could see the sun? I would never thought of that, but let me see what
Yeah, I know.
but
Yep. I didn't pick two cards. I like that. Oh, this is the card he's pulled for himself before.
King of Cups, which is funny because
Yeah.
he probably got very intuitive and awakened. Because the Cup family, like you got the Queen of Cups, remember? That's the second energy, it getting in
I think
touch.
this is him. This is him.
That's fun.
He is the King of Cups. And when he came to me, which is also cool, this picture, he wears a cape. His spirit wears a cape and a
Wow.
crown. I was told that that could just be the way that I see him. That's how he shows himself to me, or that's how I see him. But I had no, I would say that's true if I had something, like I had no reason to make anything up around it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
would. Like I feel like sometimes when you have visions, you translate it, but it's always got a little bit of your feelings in it. It's hard to be objective about it. I mean, that's just how I saw him, was with a cape and a crown.
Funny
So he
because
says he feels like he was a king in a past life.
oh well, who knows? Maybe
Who
maybe you met
knows?
through one of those. But
But I
it's
think maybe
funny.
he's a king in the spiritual realm, like
You
he
never
earned
know.
some sort of kingship or
Well,
something.
and he is your king, so hello. So um so okay. So you had that feeling, but then you actually see him that day. Did you connect at that point? Because it seemed like before that you were just feeling all this stuff, but you didn't really understand it. This is at this point, are you understanding like, oh, there's a connection here? Not yet.
Nope,
See?
not
This is
yet.
2010, right?
2013 when we started
Okay.
dating
Okay.
was, yep. So in 2001, we had an encounter where we were at a party and he told me that he was in love with me. And I know,
You were
and
married at that
we
point,
were
right?
both married.
Right.
And I just said that, I don't know, what the hell are you doing? And he said, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to leave my wife. I'll never leave my wife. I was married in the Catholic Church. I'm just in love with you. And it's just so
That must
sad.
have been confusing. Can you imagine like
So
you
we
having
did profess, or he professed his love for me at that point. And then it kind of broke something open back in 2001. It was right after 9/11. And I
so
considered approaching him because I had a feeling he didn't remember it because he was drunk. And
mm,
I considered approaching him and like having a conversation. Like, do you really want to be together? Maybe we should just like not cheat, but like leave our spouses. That was going to be my proposition. And I chickened out. And he tells me now, he said, I would have never left my wife. I was,
no, because that had to be confusing because you do love that partner at the time,
and I
but you're
was in
not
love with mine.
understanding.
And
Right.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a dumb idea. So I talked myself out of it.
No, you were talking about timing. Remember you said it's not timing, it's like being lost in time, like you're off. It's not quite the right time.
It
Oh,
wasn't
it's
exactly.
funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
That must have
2013,
been
I
a
saw
trip,
him. Yeah, and
you
I
know.
had to forget it. I was like, I think I married the wrong person because he asked me out a week after I started dating my ex-husband. So I'm like, I picked the wrong guy. I kicked myself for a while. But it was timing, totally timing. We were meant to be married to who we were married to, have the children we had, But yeah, back to 2013, that day I woke up and it's almost time. And I did see him, and he was with somebody at that point. He was dating a girl, and they broke up. I think they broke up that day. I never really asked him. Something went down. I could see them arguing. And then he asked me to go out on a date like a week later, maybe 2 weeks later. And I said, well, I thought you had a girlfriend, not anymore. So, so we
Oh my
went on
God, he
a
must
date.
have been excited because
I was. At
not
that
only you,
point,
but him.
at that
You
point,
finally
I wanted to date him. Yeah. At that point, I was like, I think because we were just great friends, like we could just have those long conversations that,
got the best,
the
right? Best friend kind of
best,
vibes.
the
Right.
best. Yep. I'm like, I think
Oh,
this is,
well, let's
I'm
see
like,
what's a
if,
part of best friend. Like before you, like
yeah,
not just
that's
best
a good
friend,
one.
like yeah, let's not the best friend type that you meet somebody, your best friend. Like I mean, best friend with your potential partner. What part is that? You know what? You're gonna shuffle. I'm gonna shuffle regular best friend energy. So just regular.
Regular best
You're gonna
friend.
shuffle the best friend energy with your partner. I want to see the difference. So best friend, regular best friend. I had 3 cards pop out.
Well,
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm gonna do 2. I was gonna do 3 because you did 3, but
Yeah, I thought I was gonna do 1, but maybe it was a create a story.
I don't
Okay, so
know.
let's.
Page of Pentacles is a weird one.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. So let's do mine. Mine is like your regular friend, your good best friend. We're gonna see the different vibes.
That's what I'm
So
doing too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing that? Oh, you want to do
The
that,
same.
then that? Okay. I thought I was gonna
Oh,
do
you thought I
first.
was doing okay.
Yeah, but since you already did, let's
Yep.
keep
Let's
it.
keep it.
Okay.
Yep.
So here it's an energy thing, just like even with whether it's a friend or with somebody else, it's the energy, the connection. The 3 of Cups, you can see it right there. Best friend, that's
Yep.
pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
A friend, strength, it gives you strength, right?
Oh
Which
yeah.
your partner would too, but we're talking about not platonic. Okay,
Right.
and it's
Right.
the
Right.
pentacle. It's the give and take because we're talking best friends. So hopefully you have a healthy relationship. 6 of coin, it's like give and take.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Reciprocal.
Nice.
So what did you get?
So I got the Page of Pentacles,
Okay,
which is interesting, and the
they're the
Ace of
love. They're the
Cups.
love. 8 of cup. They're the love for your best friend. Page of Pentacles. Somebody who's steady, slow, steady. Somebody who's reliable.
Mm,
You know what I
I
mean?
like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay. So now we're gonna do. Now we saw that, but the different vibe when your best friend with your partner. What's the difference?
What's the difference?
And we're not going to talk about the sexual aspect. We're talking bigger. I like this. It's fun.
This is fun.
Yeah. And I hope somebody else get to enjoy this
Let's
too.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You can't make it up. That connection that the universe to you, right? You can't make it up. I'm telling you. Oh my God! Look what I got.
What? What is that one?
That's
You got
God.
it too. Whoa.
Oh my God! Let's
Oh
put it
my
together on the thing.
God.
Let's.
Oh, I love it. There
I
we
could
go.
tell we're in alignment. Okay, this video was meant to be for sure.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so
So,
let's just go
yeah.
with image. Let's just go with the image. We'll let the intuition go through us, and instead of like trying to figure out what it means in the card. So right off the bat, when I look at my card, I see this is a gift from the universe. Even
Yeah.
though every connection technically is a gift, we're not going to make it But we're talking like best friend plus, you know, not
Life partner.
non-platonic. So they're just kind of sometimes, well, if you're talking concept of twin flame, it really feels like something extra. So what you're getting when you look at the card,
Well, I
there's no
already
right
have
or wrong answer, Pam.
a,
Pam.
so it's sort of like, I always think of this as like, the water bearer giving,
Right.
feeding, giving to the earth, which is what I think we're doing, we're both like holders of the light, I think.
Oh, nice. Oh, right. You're putting into the planet Earth. It's not just in the universe. You bring it
That's right.
down.
We're bringing it down to the earth. Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. And I had
yeah.
a psychic tell me that I am the star card.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
me.
Why not? Especially if you're actually in a relationship, which I very rarely hear that. Let's add a card to that. I'm curious. Let's add
Yep.
dynamic to it. So there's a different vibe. You saw like a best friend platonically to like a best friend in a, well, we're talking about true love. So it's a little extra and twin flame on this context. But some people, I sometimes worry about using twin flame, but it's, it's true love. So
Yeah.
let's add another
Right.
card to it.
All right. I don't know if this is a good or bad one. What does this mean?
Oh, that's that card. It's that success. You know, like
Oh,
um, I think it's meant to be successful. It's probably if we're going to use it in context of a best friend, your best friend, somebody who's always you're going to support, like he's a rock star in your life. You know, because
hmm,
that could be a card of fame person. You know, like you look up to. So I have the sun again, and then I have the
oh,
chariot. So
oh,
this is all, if you notice, this is all major arcana. So this is a big energy, the twin flame,
wow.
you know, versus like, it's something like you said, you feel like you're bringing to the earth and it's
Yep.
doing something for the planet. I hope so, because we need more of that higher love on planet Earth. It's just a different vibe. You can tell,
Yeah.
guys, best friend, which is just as beautiful, versus twin flame. We're not talking like even a regular marriage. This is true love, higher energy kind of vibe. Brings a lot of energy to chariot, a lot of movement. You're bringing a lot of light into the world, and it's no, we can't make that up. We got the star card at the
I
same
love
time.
it. Wow.
Make
It's
you feel like
validating. It's
yeah,
validating.
totally, totally, yeah. All right, so let's see. So, okay, you don't really get it yet at 2030. You just know, like, oh my God, you got finally together. So that's a big deal.
Yeah. And I had no
Um,
idea what a twin flame was at
right.
that
So
point.
forget about that
I
word. You
wasn't
just like,
searching.
right. You just, this energy feels different. This is the one that we've been talking about for so long, but what is it? I'm getting all these weird, that I remember this energy I was experiencing at first, it felt different than like connecting to a different energy. I never felt that. We're over 40, but we've been in love before and things like that. This feels very different. Very that's why I think it's like so many people get hooked into it. But if you don't have the right understanding to spirituality, we can make it mean like so many things. Sometimes not
Hmm.
necessarily true. But yeah, so this is the unique vibe. So you finally date him and you've been having spiritual awakening. Can you say every time you would feel this? You didn't understand it at the time, like the seven cup, but you were seeing things, you were feeling things. You didn't even know he was at the concert. You were feeling something. Finally, you both are without somebody, and you're
Exactly.
connected. What is that like at that moment? Before you even knew what twin flame was and all
Twin
that.
flames. What was it like connecting with my twin
Yeah,
flame?
like you're actually together.
Very,
What did like felt like
like,
you at
we had that
home?
love bubble, and I felt like it was very short-lived. The bubble that everybody talks about if they're ever in physical union with their partner, with their twin flame, that you get this, which I think it is what everybody gets when they first go on a date and fall in love. You get
I
that
remember.
love,
Yeah, you told
that
me. Yeah, right.
burst.
You said it's not. It's more spiritual and all that. It's a little
Yep,
different. Okay.
yep.
So you had that
Yes,
beginning relationship thing where it's
yeah, we
like,
got the
oh,
beginning of thing, and it
right.
didn't really last that long. I think because we were friends, he actually had just lost his child, his
Oh,
son. So he,
right.
so I think we kind of came into a relationship at a weird time for him, and and then I felt like I questioned that we were going to actually work almost right away, which is very
Right.
twin flame,
Yeah. I'm gonna say.
very twin flame. And I think we just needed to kind of get used to each other's energy in that, like we never had a problem communicating or anything when we were friends. But once everything else got involved, all of a sudden it was like we both were frozen and had a hard time communicating. And then it took us a couple of months. And I feel like we finally started relaxing with each other and the openness. And then we could talk and talk and talk. But I don't think I really felt secure for like a year, because then I
Right.
started reading the twin flame stuff and it sounded like it never works. And I thought this is not going to work then.
I know.
And,
That's why it's very
and I think
confusing.
I got it really in my head, and he wasn't doing the automatic things that I expected. I really believe I was kind of shedding all of those beliefs about relationships and how they're supposed to go. Like, I think that was just part of our process. And I think that's why a lot of twin flames don't make it, because they don't have they're too insecure,
Oh,
you
I
know,
know. It's bringing up all my insecurities.
all your insecurities.
Oh, could I get the quote to show you about what love is really about? It's beyond, you know, that's what I'm getting.
Exactly.
Depression is beyond like what my mind think
Right.
that it's going, I'm not with him because of da 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 da, or I'm not pursuing somebody real because I feel like I have to do this, before I go there. So that's really, so this whole, I would think even regular relationship, you're getting triggered because you're getting
I think
vulnerable,
so.
in general. But then you have this on top of it, like a whole really if we really talk
Oh,
about enlightenment, we really gotta see and be mature about, oh wow, I have these stuff, you know? And if you gotta
and
laugh
he
about it,
and
I
I'll give
think.
him I'll give him the credit too, because I think a lot of it is men,
Oh, huh.
honestly, in the twin flame dynamic, are not as emotionally in touch, and he
Mm.
really was.
He was in touch?
He was
More
in
than
touch.
you. More than you.
Well,
Oh.
I think he was the one who figured out we were twin flames way back in 2001, because that
But
was
he didn't
part of
know the term. He didn't know
he
the
didn't know the
term.
term.
He just knew
Um,
something.
he could feel something. He said, "Every time I hug you, I can feel this burst of energy. What is it?" And I didn't know what he was talking about because I didn't feel it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes you always think it's the women, the men know. They always say like a man will know within 6 months or something. If after 10 years he's still not, I don't know, you hear about that. They just know. And and especially he was a little drunk. So when you're a little drunk, you have all that guard down.
Exactly. His inhibitions.
Right? Right. And what I like about you too is both of you were very conscious not to do the cheating thing. You were just like, I'd rather we break up. Let's have a conversation. Da da da. So it doesn't always have to be like we're gonna cheat and da da da. It's more
Oh,
like I feel something with you. I don't know. We maybe should talk about this
maybe
and
we should
see.
just mhm.
Yeah.
And then I
Um.
thought, well, this is dumb. How are we gonna like leave our spouses when we haven't even kissed? It was
Right.
very naive of me.
No, it's probably like practical. Going back with the Queen of Pentacle in the beginning, you're doing the
Hmm.
practical thing. You're honorable woman, but you're feeling all this funny thing. The Seven of Cup is so confusing. With the
And then
Queen
I'm
of Cup.
thinking, I never want to live with regrets like that. And
Right.
that was the very thing that I said to myself in 2001. I don't want to live with regrets. I don't want to be with the person I'm not supposed to be. If I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be with him, I want
And
to be
plus, you
with
probably
him.
had young children at that point,
Yeah. Yeah, I
so you're
had
not
an
gonna.
infant. What
Oh, so
my
you're not gonna just go, "Hey, I'm gonna
Yeah, I
go
mean,
with
it
this
was a dumb
children."
idea.
Right. Now, but I'm saying that's understandable.
Yep.
You're not gonna just say, "Oh, I feel something for this guy," but I have a child and I'm with this.
I have to support my family. And how do I know he would even help with that? And, yeah,
Right.
the logistics weren't there because it
Like you
wasn't the
said,
right time.
so maybe the loss of time is really timing. But you know what? I don't want to overanalyze because I know a friend. It's not a twin flame, but she met she got married in her 50s. So she went on one of those online dating things. And she noticed this guy. Oh, I know him when I used to work at this department store back in the late 80s. But she didn't really pay attention to him. So she just said hello, right? And he was like, looking back, I liked you, but you look like you wouldn't even give me time of day. She wasn't even like looking at him that way. And she'll say, I wonder if we were meant to be then. And I said, you know what? We'll never know. You never know if it was meant to be or with the right timing. We can't like go back too much. Somebody's in the
Agreed.
comment. So, hi, Hurst. How are you? Yes, everyone's sending blessing, positive vibe to you all. So, I don't know how long you've been listening, but Pamela Anderson is talking a little bit about the twin flame experience. But today we're keeping it light. We're adding a little cards, but we're going to do a pre-recorded on Monday. Oh, good. We're good. We're good. We're just kind of winging it tonight, just to
We're
let
good.
you know. Um. So okay. Night. Thank you for saying hello.
No.
So it's interesting, Hurst, since you're here. I was on another live video with. It's gonna relate to this video. It's not just random. We were doing a cards on miracles, which you saw part 1. We did a part 2, and we went into the tower, and she said that she saw it at the hope card, and I said, "Oh, I would love a video on that." Oh, okay. So hers, okay. See, hers, I was experiencing twin flame, but it was like a whole drama with it. She's actually with somebody. You know how a lot of times, like 85%, it's always nobody's ever together. But she also experienced never on the same page or level. So which timing that you came in because she's talking
Mhm.
about timing. So the tower card was interesting because she mentioned about the tower. We were talking about me, Gerald, about the tower card, how it could be seen as a miracle. And she said, sometimes I see it as a hope. And I said, really? And I said, you should do a video on that. So now that that came to my mind, I would think this whole energy experiencing like a tower. It's like
That
knocking you
was
off
a
your
tower.
feet.
That was a
Like
tower
knocking you
moment.
off your feet. But how would that apply to like having hope? Could you add anything? What comes to your mind intuitively? See, we're just playing a game guide.
Yep.
Here we go.
Well,
When they can make
when
it
they,
work, they're a powerful couple. I'm telling
oh,
you, I don't know too many people who's actually together with it. Yeah, I think it will be going forward. Tell you the truth. Okay.
yeah. I know a
So
few
how is
just
the tower?
because I'm in that community, but yeah, there are
Ah,
a handful that
oh,
I know of. Yeah.
oh, good. So how could you see with the tower for you, and then in context, how it brought hope to you? Because you usually
I
not see the hope card. Yeah.
right. I think just I always have hope when things are falling apart, I guess, because I don't know. I guess I just know I'm always going to land on my feet. I always do. So,
It's kind of like waking you up, like from
yeah.
some, because like the
Right,
tower to
right.
me
And I always
has
get
like,
closer to God. you know?
oh,
So that's
um,
probably part of it, when the
she only
tower's
met
happening.
one other couple, and they are incredible together. I want more. I want to hear more about that Hirsch. That's why I'm bringing her up. Kind of like bringing that vibe of miracle. I want to bring good topic and energy up. This just happened organically. Just I was talking
Right?
about something, and she mentioned it. So the tower is like it's bringing you off your feet, literally. It's a paradigm shift. You're entering into a different paradigm shift, which could be hopeful. Because now you're with this guy.
Mhm.
Um, so okay, you said that you felt he always knew, but he didn't know what it was. He just always felt it.
And he never thought we would be together because he was never going to leave his wife, you know.
No, and you were not going to leave your
And
husband
I
either.
think
So
he felt like those feelings were so strong. He was embarrassed by them. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah,
that
especially
makes
like
sense.
I don't know what to make of it. He's like, oh, I guess it's just me. You know, right? At
Right.
first, look at me, myself, and I. That can you imagine how vulnerable that is? I mean, he had a few drinks, but he's like telling you something major, and you're like, But I noticed you didn't resist it, though, Pamela. You
Right.
didn't
I
resist
thought
it.
about it. I went into
Yeah,
the brain and just did like a logical, like, I think we're supposed to be together.
right. But it makes sense. So let's see what
But
her said.
I loved him, but I didn't think it was that kind of love. I just thought it was
Yeah.
friendship love at that point.
Sometimes it does take awareness, like awakening, slow, very little, like
Mm,
breadcrumb.
yeah,
Like you now
yeah,
you're looking back, you're like, oh, it seems so obvious, but it didn't seem obvious,
yes,
completely.
exactly.
Um, Maybe that's why they call it awakening. It's not always like sometimes just a little bit. So the tower
Um,
reminds us that we have everything we needed before it ever happened. Ooh, exactly. Breadcrumb.
ooh, very
But
good.
because we didn't recognize it, the universe took it from us. So it reminds us to be hopeful of what we have. Oh, that's interesting. I'm never telling anyone to skip to a tower, but it's absolutely a powerful card when it's paired in the right way for me as a shadow reader. So with like another, it's okay. We'll just read it. We don't have to understand it 100%. It's a perfect example of if it didn't happen to you, it happened for you. Oh, exactly. It didn't happen
Oh,
to you, Pamela. It happened for you. I mean,
yeah,
I don't think, your partner at that moment at the party in 2001 was gonna say anything to you, but he had a little liquid courage. Maybe the spirit went through.
totally,
It happened for him. That's good.
totally.
I never thought the tower like that. Didn't always have to be like death, like you're thrown out of the tower, but it's literally life shattering. Just see how I see it anyway on the tower card. Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
perspective,
that's
but I love hearing different
very
things from
powerful.
everybody. So
Yeah.
now that you hear that, what did that bring up for you? Like you reading that? There's no
Um,
right answer, don't worry.
well, I want to know what a shadow reader is. What is a shadow tarot card reader, Hershey?
That's a good question.
That
I mean, I
was
know
what
it's
came up.
like, I
He
mean,
reads the
she'll
shadow,
answer
or
it.
yeah.
No, it's digging in what not something you already know. Sometimes it's some say it like it's negative, but it's not. It's like looking at something. To me, what comes to mind is like I want to make sure. Wait, hold on. Okay. To me, it's like sometimes people don't want to see because it brings up stuff.
Yep, your
The shadow
shadow.
will help you dig in. Because if I was like married, I would have been in your situation. I can't really speak because I'm not there, but it would have been like, I'm feeling something for this, but I have a young child. I love my husband, but I don't know what's going on. It's like you don't even know. Like all these things happen for you, like she said. You don't even know. Let's
It
see.
happened for you.
I love looking at numerology when I'm doing couples reading. I'm not really good with love reading, but I do love looking at numbers, couples, that's soulmate, twin flame, or just really good friend. Hi,
Oh,
Mo. Somebody new. Hello for me.
hello.
I'm glad you're here.
Mosaic. Oh, mosaic. That's a cool spelling.
We're talking about true love, Mo. You have to start from the beginning, but we're gonna have to bring more love into the table. Um, so she's telling you. Remember, you were asking her about what it is. So she said, I intuitively connect to your subconscious and unconscious, and I pull things out that no matter how deep or well you hide them, I will find them, and we will work on them to help you overcome them.
Oh, I love it.
So, and you
All
can go
right,
to her
Hershey.
channel. She tends to do that type of stuff, like digging in, which is great, hers, because a lot of time, especially when I was dealing with my twin flame, I think I experienced it energetically. It's because spirit knows I communicate that way, and I'll get sign and synchronicity. It was showing me all my insecurities and stuff, and I had to work through them. And also because it was like a very beautiful energy, it really woke me up. Now that's just from the energy alone. Like imagine with somebody, you know? But it was like a very unique energy I ever experienced during that time. Like I understand when people like it's something I never experienced. I'm like, I totally get it. So yeah. So what do you want to bring up next?
um,
What comes to your
maybe like
mind?
the mirroring that we're talking about, like
Sure, why not?
sort of
If that
thing, like
came to your
bringing up
mind,
your
that means spirit guide wants you
yeah,
to
like
bring.
the mirroring and bringing up your shadow.
Okay.
Um,
You want to let's do a card on that. What would that
all
look
right.
like? Mirroring and shadows. Because we're doing let learn tarot, guys. So we're just having fun with that too. We're gonna ask what's the card of mirroring and shadow, and then we'll go into whatever she feels to share. So she's continuing. We have a pattern as a trauma people and human that we carry, and I usually recognize the pattern, no matter how hard or how well you're comfortable or think they are good at hiding. That really that how
Are
you
you a
say it.
Scorpio, Hirsch? You got
Are
some
you?
Scorpio. She's got some Scorpio in her chart.
Oh,
I'm a Sagittarius, but I have Mars, Venus, and Jupiter are all in Scorpio.
I was dealing with my twin flame with coming in different energy at one point with a Sagittarius person. And the Sagittarius person is a very free spirit. So it must have been interesting how your man dealt with that
He's
energy
also
part.
a Sagittarius.
Oh my God. So you both understood each other. Oh. And you know,
We
it's funny, I have a lot of Sag in my chart, but I'm a Capricorn.
oh, I have a Sag rising too, and he has this.
So you have a lot of Sag. I'm not like
Yeah.
most readers who do not read for conscious, present, past, future. I just don't read like that. I'm strictly wanting to help someone heal. Yeah, because you're pulling out
Oh
the
yeah,
subconscious
that's really cool. All right, so mirror.
mirror. The card came right out. I wonder why I got the Emperor. So what is it? Mirror. What is it? We're shuffling for
In
mirror. What
shadow. In the
and
shadow.
shadow.
So Hirsch, I don't know the cards very well, but
That's okay. Go by the image. Just by looking at the image, what are you getting? Just ask your guide, give you a word or a feeling. You think it's your mind, but it's not. Just go with that.
it's like things that you fight with in yourself. You're
There we go.
battling, maybe walking away from yourself. You're abandoning yourself.
It's a self-preservation card. Now you can see how that applies to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the Fool, which is
The
like
fool.
it's what you don't see, I guess. I always think of it as like the beginning of a journey, but
It could be because if you're mirroring, you're seeing the aspect of you. Maybe you don't want to come off as the fool, or you're learning something new, like a fool, the new person, a young
oh,
person. But it could be anything you were
you're hiding it.
self-preserving.
Yeah.
Yes, kind of
You're
go. We're
hiding.
not. It's not a mistake that Hirsch is here. Kind of like digging in, because it's all the mind. The five of sword is all the mind. So you're digging in, not emotional. It's more mental. But Mo,
Oh.
I see you. I just want to say you're Pisces Sag Moon here. Awesome. Oh,
Oh,
so
oh,
you're very
Pisces rising.
intuitive.
Pisces rising. That's cool.
Gemini, Taurus, Moon, Aries rising. So I got
Oh,
that
okay.
Capricorn. Like I look like Capricorn, like very reserved. But then
You're a
I got the
Capricorn?
Capricorn Sun, right? But then I got the Aquarius rising. That's the brain, like woo woo. I'm like woo woo. And then I got the Leo, which is like a little bit like
Oh.
entertainment.
Oh, you have
Leo, yeah.
great
My
stuff.
joke, my joke is I am a Gemini with horns and I breathe fire sometimes. Uh-oh.
You must have like Mars in Scorpio or something, Hirsch. I don't know. I have Mars in Scorpio.
So you know a little bit about astrology, I guess, but the way
A
you're
little
talking.
bit, yeah. I've been dabbling with that even more than I ever did with the cards over the years. The cards, I
And
feel
you
like I would read them and I'd be like, it was always like right here and now. It's like, yeah, I already know that's what's happening, you know? So I kind of
I
gave it up,
think
but I think it's good to read for other people, which is what I want to do.
tell you the truth, I didn't plan to come on this channel reading tarot, but I think it's just that nice to have visual because, like, if you're in life and you're walking, you can't carry a tarot card. You're gonna pick up sign and synchronicity. Like when you were getting all those vision, all that, you didn't carry a tarot card. It was just experience. You're experiencing all this. But like for the video here, kind of nice. Go
It does work
okay,
good.
but
It does work good, and it gives you
yeah,
a talking to talk around.
yeah, I'm wondering if I'm doing a little too much of it, but whatever. My channel, I'll do what I want. But here it is, Ten of Sword, which is a mirror, because you have to see anything you don't want to see, you
Mm,
know? And it's interesting I got the Emperor. So I think maybe the mirror, like he's showing you, you're talking about the mirror, and this would be the shadow, like the part in your mind that you don't like, the Ten of Sword. Like you betray yourself. Could the Ten of Sword, the betrayal? Like my my insecurity and all that, it's really a betrayal to me. Like I make it like whatever I say, even if I have aspects that,
absolutely.
maybe sometimes I'm this, not the greatest quality and that, but I also have good qualities. So there's something about that mirroring, seeing like what you portray yourself with. Can you, when I'm not with somebody, it's because I'm believing in all the the insecurity is like keeping you in from moving forward. That's what I feel for me. I mean, you could tell me what you think.
Yeah, I, definitely. So for
I
me,
mean, okay, see how that applied to you when you were doing the mirror. Were there and you were seeing he was mirroring the shadow aspect to you, that stuff that you don't want to see. It's
just
funny
is
how
not
this just popped up.
something.
So for me, if you're marrying them, the reflection would be that the deepest part of you wants something you're craving, something that the conscious you just is not supplying and you're conflicted.
Hmm.
Wow, both of your son are Capricorn. That must be interesting. Oh, good. I'm glad you understand Cap. So,
Yeah, we
yeah, the
we got
mirroring is a
married.
very deep
We got
thing.
married after 10 years.
Who you and
That's
your
gonna be-
I can't bring it down. Isn't that interesting? I'm trying to get rid of it. The screen not going down. Let me click on something else. Ah, oh, okay.
No, oh,
I
that's
think it's
weird.
the internet thing. No, what
Oh yeah,
happened is
you were
sometimes the internet.
slowing down.
Oh,
Yeah, you were slowing
yeah.
down for a minute there. All
Okay.
right, there we go.
So, what do you got from the mirroring thing? Like, what comes to your head that you feel spirit guide want you to bring to the collective? I see that.
Um, I don't know. Just that it's so hard to work on your
Well, you have the
shadows.
five of sword. The five of sword is self-preservation. So, how you can see by being with him that help you to maybe overcome that self-preservation? Because he was a mirror. You were dealing with worrying about rejection too, or no?
With worrying about what?
Like you were worried about, you had insecurity too. Could self-preservation? It's like you don't want to open that can of worms, so to speak.
Yep. Um, I don't know.
Me either, first. So no, I'm just talking about what you got from the mirroring. Like what was it?
What did I get from the cards that we pulled?
Yeah, like just the mirroring. Like forget about the
The
card.
mirroring in general.
Yeah.
Well, let me just talk about mirroring. I guess, or shadow work. Really, I guess
Okay.
I've really done shadow work my whole life, and that's the reason why I believe we were able to come together, do the shadow work that we needed to do between each other, the mirroring, and um,
Maybe that's why you actually in a relationship. You don't have to
that's
go through that.
that's that's my theory.
Oh, okay. Go. Okay,
That's
that
my
makes sense.
theory is that we were able to work and sort of come into some sort of alignment together. And we go in and out of it, there's days where our priorities are not where they're supposed to be and whatever. And we upset each other, and I feel like that's been amazing. Like we've both transformed so much. It's like year by year, month by month,
I
we're
would
like
think
different
so. 'Cause
people.
It's already a relationship which is vulnerable in general. Had twin flame or not, just regular relationship, friendship, regular friendship to anything. And then you have this really deep relationship, with this person that's gonna really. But thankfully, you already had those tools because you've been working on it, which
Right.
is helpful. It is
Right.
helpful.
Yeah. I mean, he woke me up, but I know I've been waking up from probably way back in the 80s when we had the first planetary alignment and there was an awakening. I can kind of remember back to that time having a little
Okay.
bit of why am I here sort of thing going on,
Yeah.
then.
So just kind of speed it up to like the juicy part. Let's list it. The top five, because we're gonna wrap it up. Top five beauty you got from this kind of relationship that you want people to know. Without all that drama that you hear about on YouTube. Like real. Like what is so
So
beautiful about it?
what is so
Top five
beautiful about
things.
it?
Yeah.
Um, Probably like the friendship is the most beautiful thing that we have, just being able to share with somebody and they want the best for you, you know.
Yeah.
Um and it's kind of a miracle too. Like I had thought about you saying what is the miracle? Um the fact that we both came here to do this thing together and we're doing it.
Yeah,
Um
exactly. Are doing it. Yeah, that's
we're doing it and
a big
it's
one.
I think sometimes neither
That's
one
cool.
we say how lucky we are all the time. It just feels like such a
You
blessing
are.
and I feel like we
I
do change people that are around us.
I don't know too much.
I think it was someone in the
It
comments
is.
had said,
It's very inspiring.
right, that it's I think people around us, like we invited very few people to our wedding and they were like, this is like the best wedding I've ever been to. And I'm not usually a fan of weddings, but yours was the best because it was like love. There was like magic going on. There were, um, butterflies flying around and it just like everybody was like
Okay,
walking
so
on a
it's like,
cloud and it was magical. So yeah,
can you imagine if we have more of that? How good is the planet? You
everybody
know?
walking
If
around.
you
I
notice
know.
that? Yeah, I am a little slow, but making you wonder about your path and stuff like that. Like, what is your path? Oh, the
Oh, our
energy or
path.
something. I don't know.
Yes, I did
Path.
say that.
I'm not sure
We're
that's
still
it.
we're waiting on that one, but I think
Yeah,
it's
and then magical.
it's what's happening is
The
what's
four,
happening.
yeah, and that's important. The fourth one, magical whole level, because you and your partner had a really deep conversation that is beyond you. It's like a um. It's funny because there are a lot of like when I go to spiritual communities, you'll see couples and they'll talk about. I love it when they talk with each other and they get to learn each other in a much deeper way. So, given you have like a particular energy that you're focusing on, it, it but especially if you're going to be about inspiring others that you are in a relationship. 'Cause a lot of time, like on YouTube, it's always about the label and people are never together. And then I know somebody who been waiting for 30 years. I'm like, heck no. That's why I kind of stopped it for me. I'm like, I want it to show up. If it's not the twin flame, it's going to be still a great relationship. But there are people
Absolutely.
waiting 25 years, 35 years. So we have to be careful when we do spiritual stuff because you have to get practical too and grounding. If it's something not working, come up with something else.
Yes.
But it is magical because you are together
And if it's not
and
meant to be, I don't think it will happen, friend.
right. I mean,
It's like
I do
it's about
believe
your soul
timing.
contract. Yeah, it's a
Maybe
soul
timing,
contract.
so
Timing.
contract things like that. Um, but we may see more of that in the future. Who knows? And but like long as you're in a good relationship, I feel that all that matters. You're in a positive,
Agreed.
inspiring relationship. So anyway, thank you very much. My head
Thank
kind of
you.
spinning a little bit. I don't know why. Is your head spinning? Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Energy's been weird today.
Yeah.
I'm like up in the clouds, and then I feel like I want to cry, and it's
Is that is
a
that
lot.
perimenopause? No, this is me. I'm going
Definitely.
through that right now. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
crazy. All right. So thank you very much. We'll do more conversation about this. If you guys are watching and you have any questions to Pamela,
Yeah,
uh,
that would be good.
yeah,
Help
type it
me.
up. Let her know because I'll share that with her. Okay, and then maybe we can add it to the video on Monday, or maybe we'll do another live. So,
Yep.
take care. Oh, she's talking about her name. I'm reading and so we're gonna wrap it up. Here we go.
Wrap it up.
This is where I always get. Remember, I told him how do we end the video? Put that. We're gonna.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, jazz hand.
Thank you.